Deep in the desert sands lies a civilization so ancient, yet so awe-inspiring, that its secrets have captivated us for centuries. From towering pyramids to mysterious hieroglyphs, ancient Egypt remains a treasure trove of wonder and discovery. Get ready to uncover the astonishing facts that will leave you spellbound as we delve into the fascinating world of 8 astonishing facts about ancient Egypt. 1. Egyptian pyramids were not built by slaves. For centuries, the popular belief has been that the ancient Egyptian pyramids were built by thousands of slaves who toiled in harsh conditions, forced to labor against their will. This notion has been perpetuated by films, books, and media, cementing the idea in the public imagination. They produced an image that these slaves worked hard in the worst conditions and were often abused and tortured if they didn't work fast enough. However, this narrative has been challenged by historians and archaeologists in recent years who argue that the evidence suggests a more complex and nuanced story. In reality, the pyramids were constructed by skilled workers who were paid for their labor. These workers were not slaves, but rather skilled artisans, masons, and laborers who were employed by the pharaohs to build these monumental structures. Approximately 5,000 workers were permanent and paid, whereas 20,000 worked as temporary workers who were free men chosen under the corvée system of national service. They worked in 3 or 4-month shifts and were given food, shelter, and medical supplies as a form of payment. 2. Egyptians wore makeup. In ancient times, both men and women used makeup in large quantities, believing it gave them protection. Coal was the main substance used, which was made from grinding ores such as malachite and galena mixed with soot and oil. They used them liberally around their eyes, which can be seen depicted in their art. They also used red paint and henna to color their lips, hands, and fingernails. Both sexes wore perfumes made from various fragrances, such as susanum. The main ingredients of those perfumes are lily, myrrh, and cinnamon or cyprinum, which was made of henna, cardamom, cinnamon, myrrh, and southernwood. Compared to these days, makeup was a gender-neutral thing. 3. Egyptian women had equal rights. Typically, Egyptian women enjoyed taking care of their home and children, but they also had the freedom to work outside. They had the right to buy and sell property, sit on juries, and also enter into legal contracts. Those women who chose to work outside were given equal payment as men. They had so much freedom that many Egyptian women such as Nefertiti, Hatshepsut, Cleopatra are among others who ascended the throne. Egyptian women also had the right to divorce, remarry, and create a prenuptial agreement. The agreement would list all the property and wealth she brought into the marriage and will guarantee full compensation in the event of a divorce. 4. Canopic jars were used to preserve internal organs. Canopic jars were 4 types of vessels used to store and preserve the deceased's internal organs, except for the heart, during the mummification process. These were later buried with them. Each jar contained different essential organs: lungs, stomach, liver, and intestines. The heart wasn't among them because it was believed to be the home of one's soul, so it remained in their chests. They took this belief seriously as it brought peace to them and essence to their religion. 5. Bread and beer were used as currency. This might sound funny, but the truth is, it's true. The workers who built the pyramids and tombs, with the soldiers, were all paid with bread and beer in return for their services. Although they were also given adequate payments, it was recorded that most of them preferred the bread and beer, which was also a transaction used in businesses and as offerings to gods and their dead ancestors. 6. Invented the pregnancy test. How hard it would have been to foretell if one was pregnant or not. Well, if you think that pregnancy test tubes or strips came from the country that produced it or were the actual first things to use in pregnancy detection, then you are probably wrong. The first pregnancy tests were recorded in the ancient era of Egypt. Women used barley and wheat seeds to determine their pregnancy and also the gender of the baby. They would urinate on the seeds, and if they sprouted, it would mean she is pregnant. If the seed sprouted was barley, it would be a baby girl, and if it sprouted wheat, it would be a baby boy. Sounds even more fun but more stressful, but in all, it worked. 7. Egyptian blue was founded in ancient Egypt. Egyptian blue is the world's oldest synthetic pigment founded by the ancient Egyptians. They used this color to associate it with the sky and the Nile River. The mineral that gives the blue color is called lapis lazuli, and it is a rare and expensive naturally produced stone. Today, these are used as security inks or for biomedical. How intriguing! 8. Egyptian doctors had specialized fields. You know how a doctor can attend to a pregnant woman and also give a diagnosis for that wounded man. Well, it wasn't exactly so in the time of ancient Egypt. This early form of medical specialization was noted in 450 BC by the classical historian Herodotus. When discussing Egyptian medicine, it was said that each physician can only heal one part of the body. While some specialize in healing the teeth, some specialize on the heart and others on intestines and so on. If it was still practiced, maybe medicine would have been easier to study, but in all, we are grateful for the doctors we have for today. Ancient Egyptians are indeed full of secrets and wonders, just like they are full of pyramids. They were known for their rich gender equality culture and traditions, detailed architecture, and creative innovations. They loved animals and kept some as pets, but cats were the ones who held a higher place in their hearts. And though women were publicly and socially seen to be inferior to men, they had the freedom and rights in terms of property, wealth, and entering legal contracts. The tombs, pyramids, hieroglyphics all hold stories of an era that we can now use to understand the past. There are a lot more discoveries to be made about ancient Egypt, and the more we dig in, the more surprising facts of that era will spring out. And with that, we have come to the end of this video. In the hopes that you learned something new, leave a comment on what fact surprised you and also like and share. Do well to subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.